All right, so Democrats are obsessed with the ballroom that Trump is building on the White House grounds. Now, they don't know too much about it, but they do know that Trump is building it and that it's a Trump project, so they know that they hate it. That's their main position. And they're using anything they can, any detail they can about the project to attack it, even when those details are not correct. So Jasmine Crockett was on CNN with Kaitlan Collins, and Jasmine Crockett parroted this line from Democrats that Trump said, or rather Karoline Leavitt, White House press secretary, said that the ballroom is Trump's top priority. Now, this is a half lie because Karoline Leavitt said this in the context of projects on White House grounds. So obviously the $200 or $300 million ballroom that is being constructed on White House grounds is his top construction priority at the moment. And this was such an egregious proposition from Jasmine Crockett that Kaitlan Collins corrected her on it.
Do you believe this will be the week that Congress comes to an agreement here?
I have no idea. I mean, you started off talking about the fact that the president is in Japan. The president has time to do everything but what he needs to focus on. In fact, we heard the press secretary say that his main priority is the ballroom that no one asked for, the ballroom that requires him to destroy historic pieces of the White House. And so it doesn't seem like he's interested.
And that context of the comment from Karoline Leavitt, she was asked if the president was working on any other renovations when it came to the White House, and she was saying his focus was the ballroom. But to your point about what the president said, do you believe this will be the week that Congress comes to an agreement?
Something going on with Jasmine Crockett. I feel like usually she's a little bit more fiery, but she's giving quite the dead-eyed stare. She's really just, I wonder if there's anything going on behind the eyes. It's quite vacant, and I think she might be slightly cross-eyed. I don't know if I'm just seeing things here, but I hope all is well at home. I don't know. She seems a little bit down. She didn't even react when she got corrected. Let's look at that again.
From Karoline Leavitt, she was asked if the president was working on any other renovations when it came to the White House, and she was saying his focus was the ballroom. But to your point about what the president said.
Okay, so she has no reaction. She just has these long, heavy blinks with those very heavy fake eyelashes. I really do wonder what goes on in the mind of Jasmine Crockett sometimes, but the truth is probably that she's just not very smart. And it shows in her expressions and composure and when she speaks and kind of everything about her public persona. But Jasmine Crockett was not the only Democrat to parrot this lie, so here is Tim Walz saying basically the same thing. And then we have a clip of Karoline Leavitt's actual comments in context.
They are choosing not to fund these programs. They are choosing to prioritize. And when the White House press secretary said the top priority is the ballroom, we could not disagree more.
In addition to the ballroom and the Rose Garden patio, is the president looking at any other renovations or significant kind of projects here at the White House?
Not to my knowledge, no. But he's a builder at heart, clearly. And so his heart and his mind is always churning about how to improve things here on the White House grounds. But at this moment in time, of course, the ballroom is really the president's main priority.
They are choosing.
Okay, yes, so it's exactly what we thought. It's a nothing burger, and Democrats are grasping at straws because everyone hates them. People just do not like them. But also to Tim Walz's point, sort of, the ballroom is being funded by donations. It's not being funded by taxpayer dollars, unlike some of the programs which Democrats are so mad are being slashed or being shut down, like, food stamps. Do most people in America need food stamps? There's an argument to be made that some people really need them. But have you seen how fat people are? People are really fat. I think we need, the opposite of food stamps. I don't know what that would be. We need, government funded, put Ozempic in the water. Something has to be done about this, okay? That is the main priority here. In terms of public health, I think there's probably more people who are straining our healthcare system because of fat-related diseases than there are people starving to death. That would be my guess, based on having walked outside and visited a Walmart before. Yeah, no more food stamps until we abolish the mobility scooter. That's going to be my take on it. Okay, and Trump has been campaigning on this ballroom promise for a very long time. So there is a video of him referencing wanting to build a White House ballroom all the way back in 2016.
And every time the top people come over from China, they're getting these big, beautiful, they put a tent on the White House. We don't have a ballroom at the White House. I offered, by the way, Jerry, years ago to build a ballroom at the White House, free of charge, $100 million ballroom. I said, we'll get the top 5 architects in America. We'll get the top people, top everything. We'll have the best ballroom, because I noticed they always put tents up on the lawn. Number one, it's not a good security thing. Number two, the guy that owns the tents is making a fortune, okay? This poor guy, he's making so much money. All he needs is one tent, and he charges them so much, he's making a fortune. All right. But I said, I will build a ballroom. I gave it to the Obama. I actually told David Axelrod, a good guy, very capable guy. I told David Axelrod, David, I will build a ballroom free of charge, at least $100 million. We'll make it the finest ballroom in the world. We'll put it someplace so it works contextually, magnificently. It'll be done. We'll have committees set up. I never heard back. It's, it's just one of just thousands of things. If someone's going to give me a free ball, I'm going to take it. We'll put it in an area that'll look great.
But this is just how Democrats work. They are very slow to do things. They love bureaucracy. You can look at Gavin Newsom's high-speed rail project in California, which is still chugging along, sucking up, I don't know how many millions of taxpayer dollars at this point, and has yet to be completed. Now, I think what's interesting about this ballroom story is, in part, the ballroom itself. It's supposed to be enormous, and I think it's a good thing that we're no longer going to have to set up, as Trump said, tents on the lawn when foreign dignitaries visit, but more so the reaction from people like Tim Walz and Jasmine Crockett, because I wonder how often they thought about the East Wing of the White House before, 2 weeks ago. The East Wing of the White House was pretty rarely discussed, and it's hard to remember now because of the news cycle. But, the East Wing is a new addition. It was built, the modern East Wing was built under FDR, basically as a cover so that they could build a presidential protection bunker underneath the White House in case of an aerial attack on Washington, D.C. And the East Wing was completely renovated after FDR because the White House was basically falling apart. They preserved the facade, but the interior was rotting and disgusting. So when people say, oh, but the historical value of the East Wing or whatever, the historical value of this building, that's less than 100 years old, and has the First Lady's office, I guess, because we started doing that recently too. So when people talk about the historical value of the East Wing, it feels very disingenuous. But then again, I'm probably not saying anything you don't already know, because no one expects sincerity from the likes of Jasmine Crockett. It's just whatever Trump does, I don't like. So if Trump saves a cat, Jasmine Crockett hates kittens. That's how it works. It's totally reactive and dumb, and I think that most people are seeing through it. But let me know what you think in the comments section below. Give this video a like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.